Okay, please tell me your names.
I'm S.K. Johnson.
Jennifer Edie Johnson
And how did you hear about Dr. Nemeh's healing service?
from Audie Bauer. I go to her for crystal bed healings and some healings, and she just told us, because I told her about my husband and his stuff was going on, and she said, I knew the perfect person that would help you. And then that's how we heard about him.
So I heard, SK, that you were a little skeptical. You didn't really understand what Dr. Nemeh was about.
Yes, actually, when she told me we're going to go somewhere, I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And I kept thinking, what is she putting me into now? So when she did bring me,
When did you come to the healing service? What month and year was it?
it was in November 17.
Yes.
Okay.
November 17. I remember sitting in there listening. I loved listening to his words of God, but I just kept thinking,
And at Nazareth Retreat Center.
Yes,
In
yes,
Kentucky.
Nazareth, yes,
Kentucky.
in Bardstown.
Beautiful, beautiful area here.
Yes.
yes, it is. We love it here.
Yeah, we got his news. He's always had his news, and then when the doctor was talking about more
What was his
surgery-
diagnosis?
Back in 03, I was diagnosed with pituitary tumors.
So those are in the brain.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And in 03, I also had two of them removed. But the third one, they said it was sitting on the spinal cord and they could not get to it. So that turned my life upside down right there. And we've been seeing MRIs, we've been seeing doctors and stuff like that, and all the doctors keeps telling me they really don't want to touch it until it really gets real bad. And then that's still dangerous. And he says, I don't see any other options, but we're going to do another MRI later on. And we'll decide the final note of what we're going to do, what kind of procedures. Let me look into it and let me see what we can do.
No, I'm sure you were scared out of your wits. You have
I
a
was
beautiful
back
son.
to being,
Yeah.
I was back to being scared again, thinking, here we go, God, okay. You know, what's in my plan? I guess this is it.
Right.
And then Jennifer, my wife, said that there's a healing coming in town.
But she's not big believing at that point of healing, even though he's so connected to God. I do healings. I believe strongly in energy work and healings and the faith of God, but
And I was one of those ones, nah, but I'll go with it.
So it was Audie Ballard from
Yeah,
Bardstown,
that
Kentucky.
told us.
That told her, and then she said, because I had some plans I was going to do that day, and she said, nope, we're going to go somewhere. And I'm like, okay. So
He's also been having every day the tumor that was innocent, as they say, but couldn't operate. He was having headaches, severe bad headaches, where he was blacking out and passing out too with these headaches.
Oh my gosh, terrible symptoms.
Yes.
Yeah, the ones before, actually, it phased my memory, my walking and stuff like that. I put on tons of weight then. So we knew that something was starting back again, and then that's when she said she wanted to bring me.
So you came in November to Nazareth Retreat Center.
Yes, I did, and
You listened to the talk.
I listened to the talk. Like I said, I was sitting there just thinking, and she's sitting there hitting me on the shoulders going, pay attention, have faith. And I'm like, I am, So then I listened to him, and then it was our turn to go up and be prayed on.
So what happened during the prayer?
Unless you felt it, it's just hard to let I can describe it, but it's hard to let somebody know the feeling. But he put his hand above my head and in back of my head. And it felt like a magnet was so strong pulling me that I could hardly, I couldn't fight it. And then he did some praying on me, and I felt it again. I felt a warm sensation, and I felt like I was going to pass out. And then I fell back, and then I pulled myself back together, and I thought, wow, okay. So he was done praying with me, so I sat down in the chair right there. And I bent my head down because I felt really funny. I just can't even describe the feeling I kept having. It kept feeling like somebody was sucking my brain out.
Wow.
So as I was looking at the ground, there's this little tiny dot. It was like spazzing on the floor. And I thought, what's that spider doing? I kept looking at it, and I'm thinking, well, it doesn't look like a spider. But it kept going around my chair, and it would go out a little bit, and it would come back around again, and it would go back out again. I'm like, what is this thing? I'm supposed to be paying attention.
Oh, wow.
But for some reason, this has caught my attention. again, it was like my head, I felt like, man,
That it was pounding so
I
hard.
couldn't believe the feeling in my head. Still like something magnet on me. So I kept watching that. And then all of a sudden, it went towards the stage. It was gone.
Just like that.
Just like that.
What do you think that was? I think I know
At
what
that
it
time,
was, but
I'll be honest, at that time I just thought, that was a spazzed out spider.
It took him a while to tell me even about that side of
Yeah,
the story.
it's highly unusual.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to tell anybody.
Right,
And
they
then,
think you're nuts.
I'll tell you what, that day, I still thought, man, the spider spazzed out. But I'll tell you, today, I will swear I know that wasn't a spider. I
No.
know that was that tumor. That tumor was gone, and God was
100%.
showing me. it
When you
was gone.
called me, Jennifer called and you were on speakerphone and you were just at the doctor's office. You went back for a follow-up MRI because they were scheduling you for surgery. And when you were telling me the story after you heard the great news, I said, I know what that was bouncing around there. That was the black ugly tumor. So, and when you were giving the testimonial today, and we're at Nazareth Retreat Center, it's April 21st, is it today?
Yes.
Everybody in the audience, they were all murmuring it was the tumor. They knew exactly what it was. So, all right, let's fast forward. You're at the doctor's office for a follow-up. They're going to schedule you for surgery. And the doctor's name?
Dr. Sun
And that's in Louisville?
in Louisville. Yes, he's a neurologist, surgeon.
Neurosurgeon.
Neurosurgeon.
Right.
Yep.
Mhm.
We were gonna make our final decision what we're gonna do because we just had another MRI done in January, and he said we got test results. Come on in. I said okay. So he walks through the door.
So that was after the healing service.
That was
You
after
had-
healing. Yes,
you
because
went
the
for the
healing was in
MRI.
November of 17.
Right.
We had the MRI January of 18,
Right.
and then my appointment was February 18.
Which
Right.
we already knew it was gone because we chose to have the mindset, the moment we left here, we told ourselves it was gone, it was not there. We continued living our life every day believing it was gone.
Were the headaches gone then?
No, actually that night, actually
Ah.
that day when we left from here, I was sick. When
Okay.
we left from here, I went home and I told Jennifer, I said, I don't want to go anywhere or do anything today. I don't feel good.
Yeah.
And I actually went to bed and I did not
It
feel
kind
good.
of just sucks the energy out of
It,
it.
it sucked the energy, but still my head.
Mhm.
And I'm like, this is a feeling I haven't had. You know,
Different
having
kind
been-
of feeling.
We called Audie, I told Audie about it, and Audie explained to us, she said, it's like surgery. She said he removed it. He goes, you know, when you have surgery, you still have pain. So what you're
Oh
feeling,
my
that dramatic
gosh.
pain, the magnet, she said, he removed surgery.
Yeah.
And that's how she explained it. It was like surgery of
And-
the pain that he was going through. And he said it was
Right.
normal. And then I think that next day or so, I think
I got,
you
yeah,
felt-
the next day I still was feeling a little queasy, but
Mhm.
by the third day, I was fine.
Perfect.
I mean, I was fine.
That's
vision
great.
was better.
But like, getting
Headaches?
back to the doctor there,
Okay, so now we're back at the doctor's office, Dr. Sun.
yes, in fact,
Okay.
when he came in, he threw his hands up with the paper and he said, SK, where did it go? I said, pardon me?
Wow.
He goes, where'd it go? I dropped to my knees and I said, the Lord took it. The Lord took it. He said, pardon me? I said, the Lord took it. And Jennifer goes,
And he kept saying, no, what medicine did you
yeah,
take?
he kept saying you
what
had
surgery did you take? What have you been taking? It
yeah, he said,
doesn't
what,
go away.
what surgery? I said, I didn't have any surgery. You're my surgeon. I didn't have any medication because you guys didn't put me on anything. I said, she took me to a healing. And he said, a healing? And I said,
And he's
yes.
like, what do you mean? What did he do? And then we tried to explain, he just laid his hand and prayed. He
So
said,
you
no,
told
what
him what
else did
Dr.
he do?
Nemeh did, that
Yes.
he just
Yes, we
prayed.
told him that Dr. Nemeh did it, and he still he still was sitting there like, okay. So he gets on his computer to
Right.
open the screen up, which
'Cause
I have that.
You have the before and
I
after,
have-
so
I
we'll
have
get a
the before-
close-up and as soon as you finish.
Yes, I
yeah.
have the before and after picture of what he was looking at. For 45 minutes, we looked at that, and he kept trying to,
Looking for it.
and he goes, SK, come here. I can't find it.
Well, tell him it's at the
in the
floor in
report it
Nazareth.
says it.
Pardon me?
Tell him it was on the floor bouncing around in
Well,
Nazareth.
I think he thought I needed a psych then after that,
Right.
because he kept looking, but then he wanted to talk more about it.
Yes.
Then he wanted to talk more about this healing, more about who's the doctor, where's he at,
I
where's he
found, I
from?
went
So
online,
Jennifer,
I went online and pulled up his path to faith, right?
Right.
And then I pulled it up, I wrote it down, and he actually on the piece of paper wrote his information down. He was kind of curious about
Right.
what he had to do.
Well, these are traditional doctors that, you hope that doctors do pray with their patients, even in their hearts. And it's not easy for a medical doctor. 1 + 1 = 2 with them. This was 1 + 1 = you had a miracle.
Amen.
And he's trying to figure it out in his own brain.
Right, but he said he's never in his practice that he has seen this
When we
dissolve on
left,
its own.
yeah.
And that's what he kept trying to make different excuses for
Sure.
it, but he couldn't come up with one.
No, of course not. It was.
And I told him, I said, I know what it was.
Yep.
And it was like God told me, go tell everyone of the miracle that I did and who I gave the healing to that healer to do for you. And I thought, but Lord, I'm not a speaker. I don't care.
You're
gonna
a
do
good
this.
speaker. You're grand.
And I said, all right. So
And not only that, for the non-believers, we have proof. He brought his MRI images of where he used to always talk about how big it was, where exactly went,
Yes.
all the way to his newest image of an MRI saying nothing's there.
our first one said what size it was, and praise God,
Nothing.
nothing. They can't find nothing.
Amazing.
It's
So,
resolved. It even says in there, final, resolved. Tumor has resolved.
God bless your faith, both of you.
And
Now,
that made me stronger in faith.
of course. So today, you're back at Nazareth to give a testimonial. We're here for a healing service. So what did you feel today? What happened? You had a prayer with Dr. Nemeh.
I was actually right before he got to me, I said, Lord, I give this to you for him, for whatever he has to find for me. Because I went to the doctors last week, and they said I have what they call bradytachia syndrome, which they call the sick syndrome. It's where the heart, they don't beat right. It beats too slow or it beats too fast.
Right.
So that was my main concern. And that's why I had no doubts wanting to come today. Trust
Right.
me, after the miracle,
Right.
I would have busted your door down before you got here, okay? But that's one of the things I was praying to myself while he was there. And it was like he went right to
He did.
he went right to the subject. I mean, right to where it was at.
And you
When
didn't say anything to
No.
him.
I didn't say anything. I just kept praying with him. While he was praying, I could hear him here, but in my mind, I was praying with the Lord, give him the knowledge of what needs to be. And as I was doing that, he put his hand here and his hand on my back. He said a couple words, and it was just like, it was like a heat shock went through from my chest to my back. And I thought it rocked me, and I thought, oh, please don't pass out here in front of people, because then they're going to think, what are you doing? So I held on, and I said, Lord, whatever. And he went up to my head, said a prayer, and came right back down to it. And I heard that warm feeling. I mean, it got warmer and warmer and warmer. Like it went from the front, it started getting cooler, but his hand in the back got hotter. It was like it was sucking it. And I was like, you got it, Lord. You've got this again. I feel it. And my faith from leaving in there made me even stronger in believing in the healing and the power that Lord can give to someone as special.
So, and how would you summarize? What would you tell somebody that's a skeptic? What would you say about God, about Dr. Nemeh, about the healing services? What are your thoughts, you and Jennifer?
My thoughts is, don't be afraid. Have faith in what he's doing. Because when he puts your hands on you, you will know. You'll feel if you hold that faith, you will know. Because I thought I had faith before. Oh, no. I'll tell you now, I didn't have faith what I thought I had. I got it now. I have the faith to believe. I could stand up right now and shout, but with the camera, you'd be chasing me, is how bad I would shout it, knowing of the faith that someone should let him do this. Let him perform his healing, because you won't come out the same way that you went in.
When you were on the podium there sharing your story, when you went up to see Dr. Nemeh this morning, what did he say to you? What did you say to him?
When I went up to him this morning, before I went up, I shook his hand and I said, bless you. He said, no, bless you. I said, thank you, but no. The blessing comes to you for what you have done. God has gave you a power that you have actually succeeded in. With the Lord's power, you have brought it out to others. And I'm a living proof of it. I said, so I have to bless you. The Lord's telling me, bless you and continue what you're doing. And that's my faith to this.
So
And
now will you trust your wife from now on when she says you have to be somewhere?
yes, I will.
Thank you,
yes, I will.
Jesus.
Because
Huh,
that's
Jennifer?
that is one of the best demands she's ever gave me to do.
And you listen.
You know, the biggest thing I believe with anybody or anything, you know, in our faith, you know, we ask. So maybe we go to the doctor, we ask, the doctor tells us what it is, we talk about our diagnosis every day. But what we did when we left our healing, we didn't talk about the diagnosis anymore. We said it was removed, it was gone, and we believed it. So we
You
walk
had it.
around.
You owned it. It sounded
Exactly.
like you
And
just
I've been
knew
telling
it.
That's
everybody.
that's what a healing is not only about. It's your mind. It's about your faith. Because in the Bible we believe Jesus is coming, but it's all about it. We know it. We don't doubt it. We don't doubt. And so when you get a healing or wherever we go, we walked out saying we're healed,
Yes.
Well,
and
God-
we believe it.
God bless your faith and the love you have for each other. I can tell you have such a beautiful love for each other in a relationship, and I pray that you and your family have 100 more years of health and spread the word.
Oh,
I
plan
know
on
you're
it.
going to.
I
plan
tell
on
all my clients to come over. I tell them all the time.
it. I plan on it.
Well, God bless you both.
Thank you and bless you. Thank you.